So thank you for taking the time today. I'll start with allowing you to introduce yourself, the organization you're joining us from today as well.
Sure. My name is Hope Owens. I am the Senior Director of Organizational Development and Training for Road Scholar, a travel company for seniors who are looking to travel the world and learn new things.
Awesome. And how long have you been with Explorance, and what are kind of the products and solutions that are part of your ecosystem?
Sure. We are new to Explorance. We started our journey late last year with the 360 tool, and we implemented just in March of this year, so just a few months. And through that process, we learned about Millie, and we had a huge need for analyzing our engagement survey comments, and so we signed on for that one as well. So we use those two products.
Cool. And with the 360 solution, is this more for like a leadership development program? Is it for all employees? Can you just expand a little bit on that?
Sure. It is specifically for leadership development.
Okay.
So we see a need for our senior leaders to develop into executives. And what would that take? So we started off very small, and we have 6 leaders, directors, senior directors, maybe AVPs, who are looking to make that next step in their career. So we launched it just for them. So a very controlled trial. And so we're doing a 6-month coaching program with them based on the 360.
Cool. And the Millie solution, I understand you're using it for a different survey process.
Correct.
What does that kind of look like?
Sure. We have our engagement survey tool that we have been using for a few years that doesn't analyze any of the comments. It just gives them to us. And in the past, my leader has taken those comments and spent 8, 10, 15 hours coding them because most of them are mixed. I love this. I wish this would change. And so she would code them in each of the different categories. And she saw a need. Can something do this quicker and more efficiently than what I'm doing? And so we started using that for 2 surveys now. We've used that for.
Cool. And are you able to speak to a little bit of, let's say, the volume of comments that you're collecting and analyzing?
Sure. The first survey, we analyzed about 700 comments. I think we got just over 1,000 insights from those comments. And the second one was around 780 comments. And again, over 1,000 insights we got from those comments.
And you really went from hours of coding to, I guess, just
minutes.
kind of a couple minutes to analyze those comments.
It was a couple of minutes to analyze them, push us out a report that we could now very strategically say 80% of our organization loves the culture.
Yeah.
60% of the organization really loves their manager and the style of their manager, and here's where our opportunities lie.
It's awesome. And it sounds that at least the comments are also majority positive as well.
So. We have an amazingly engaged organization, and so we are very blessed in that way. And it's because, and we say this all the time, you have to keep your foot on the accelerator. We can't say that we've arrived and say, okay, we're done. We don't have to worry about it anymore. So we're constantly looking at how are we here, what keeps us here, and what will continue to keep us here. Because what's keeping us engaged right now doesn't mean that it's going to be what keeps us engaged in a year.
Just that continuous improvement.
Exactly.
Awesome. I just want to take one step back, and you kind of touched upon it with Millie in terms of the time saving when it came to coding. But let's say in terms of the 360, can you talk about kind of the process before implementing Explorance and Blue? Was there a process, or what were the kind of drivers that made you start to look for a 360 solution?
Sure. We do not currently have a competency model, and that's what we are embarking upon. But we saw a need that as we are developing our competency model, we saw a much more immediate need, and pulling up a competency model within an organization takes a really long time. And we said, we don't have that long. So we went out and looked for a solution that would be flexible, that would be adaptable, so that we could use it now. And as our competency model grows and we realize what it's going to be, we can change the survey tool to match what it is. So that was the big thing that drew us to Blue, is that we had professionals here, experts here, who could help us with an interim competency model that would really get at all the baseline things that we needed, while at the same time we knew that we weren't locked in, and it wouldn't mean that we have to change everything in a year and a half when we have our own competency model. So that's what really drew us to Blue.
Exactly. And then once you do develop that model, it kind of just fits right in.
Exactly. We'll be able to change that in our 360 assessment and be able to deploy it again. And in the meantime, the assessment that we've done, we're moving. We're not waiting to develop these leaders strategically. We're still developing them. All of this time is not wasted. We're still moving the dial and getting things done. And then when we get that competency model done, it'll just be a little bit more informed, a little bit more intentional and strategic.
That's amazing. It sounds so great to hear like this long-term vision that you guys have already, and that Blue is going to be able to put that in place for you as well. Can you talk about any kind of key success stories since implementing Blue, or Millie as well? If you just have maybe small anecdotes or anything like that.
It's hard to say because we're still so new at it. It was really amazing to get the assessments for these particular leaders, and again, it's very small scale, but we got the initial assessments on them, and to be able to take that data and plug it straight, because it's all competency focused, we're able to plug it straight into a leadership coaching plan for them, and me and my leader are doing very intentional coaching with them, that we can look at this 360 and say, instead of the whole world of leadership development, this is where we're going to focus. This is where we're going to spend our time. And they have bought in really quick because they've got the data there. It's not just us saying, oh, I think you need to work on vision planning. This is what the data shows. This is what your direct reports and your peers and your leader has said. So that, we believe, has gotten us buy-in so much quicker than if just anecdotally we had gone to them and said, this is what we need to work on.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. And I know you kind of already touched upon it in terms of developing your own competency model, and but also a question for Millie, I guess, as well. Where do you guys see Road Scholar going in the future in terms of your feedback process, feedback culture, how you want to develop 360s, and Millie going forward?
Sure. We are hoping to expand this for more leaders. So this is our first crop of leaders that have come through. Anything can happen, but what we're hoping for is that we get another crop of leaders the next time, and we get to do this 2 or 3 times. And while we're coaching, we're telling our leaders, what I'm doing with you, I want you to be able to do with your direct employee. So we have quarterly goals. It keeps us very short-term focused. And it helps us, right, to really hit on our goals and our mission. But we want to pan out a bit to really focus on long-term goals. So if I'm coaching a leader and saying, hey, let's work on your executive presence, let's work on your executing results, on your talent development. Do you recognize talent development, what I'm doing with you, with this? If we keep doing this, you're going to do that with your employee, so that when you take that step up, you haven't created a gulf between you and that direct report, because you've positioned them that they can come up with you. Wow. And so we're leveraging it as, we might not be able to give a 360 to every person, but if and when we can, that leader's already gone through the process and they can rinse and repeat for their employee. And so instead of it just being me and my boss who are doing all the leadership coaching, we're building that skill in those that we're coaching, that they can then turn around and do that for those underneath them.
Well, thank you for sharing that. I think that's a really powerful story, and it sounds really amazing that you guys are
we're
doing
excited.
That. Yeah, for sure. Just one last question.
Sure.
I think you would. No, I guess, did you not attend Explorance World last year? Were you here last year?
No, this is my first time.
First one. So I'm just asking, what are you hoping to get out of Explorance World this year?
Always just new ideas. It's so easy to get insulated within your organization that you lose sight of other possibilities, other ways of doing things. So that's one thing that I've already gotten, and I hope to get more of while I'm here. It's always great to network. People who are doing amazing things, and I know I want to share the amazing things that I'm doing, and I know that they want to share too, and together we can lift each other up. And so those are some of the things that I'm looking forward to for the conference.
Awesome. Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Hope,
All
for
right.
taking the time.
Thanks.
Thank you for your
All right.
participation.
Sure.
Yeah.